Hello, welcome to Theatre Reviews with Paul Severn. I'm here at the Menier Chocolate Factory to see the Cabinet Minister. Who would have thought that a forgotten play by a seldom performed Victorian playwright would be one of the funniest theatre shows of the year? Keep watching and I'll tell you why you should see the Cabinet Minister at London's Menier Chocolate Factory if you want a good laugh. But first, please like, comment and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Arthur Pinero was one of the most popular playwrights of his day. He was even given a knighthood. He made his name with farces and then with more serious plays on social matters like The Second Mrs. Tanqueray, which is one of the few plays of his that people may have heard of. While he may not offer quite the sharp wit or tight plots of his contemporary Oscar Wilde, Pinero too set out to expose the Victorian upper classes through mockery. I think it's fair to say his plays haven't aged as well as Wilde's, but with a little attention from Nancy Carroll, the Cabinet Minister scrubs up very well. She's simplified the story, cut the anachronisms, and added lashings of innuendos. So, what's the plot? Well, unbeknownst to him, a government minister's wife and son have run up enormous debts. The latter's a gambler, the former's brought on credit large amounts of expensive dresses. If the debts aren't paid, the minister, already under pressure to resign, will be disgraced and forced to retire to that fate worse than death, at least to his wife, the countryside. The dressmaker and her moneylender brother intend to use the debts as leverage to gain entry into high society and, in the brother's case, to use insider knowledge to make a stock market killing. The wife's solution is to marry off her children to rich spouses. But they have different ideas. They would like to marry for love. So there are all the ingredients of a comedy of manners and a rollicking farce. Adapter Nancy Carroll, director Paul Foster, designer Janet Burden, a well-chosen cast have cooked up these ingredients into the comedy of the year. Let's get into some detail. Nicholas Rowe plays the government minister Sir Julian Twombly. He's tall and patrician and so cynical about politics that he gets his butler to write his speeches. He provides the still centre for the shenanigans. Nancy Carroll, who not only adapted the play, stars as his wife, Lady Catherine Twombly. She knows she's lucky to be part of the high society and doesn't want that luck to run out. In Miss Carroll's hands, she carries herself haughtily, throws out barbed one-liners and panics wholeheartedly, as when she tries to strangle her nemesis, the moneylender Bernard Lackluster. He's played by Laurence Ubong Williams, and he's a Del Boy character, failing at every turn to blend into upper-class society. His sister, Fanny Lackluster, as a dressmaker, is a tradesperson in the morning, but a lady in the afternoon. Such are the complexities of the class system. Lady Catherine may feel contempt for her, and show it, but she cannot resist the pressure to bring her into her world. Phoebe Fildes gives a great turn as the thick-skinned schemer, ignoring slights, ever smiling, and pressing on with her plans. Then there are the children. I particularly liked Rosalind Ford as a naive, confused Imogen Twombly. She's in love with Valentine, a hairy, smelly explorer who won't settle for domesticity, and is played by George Blagden with great panache. Unfortunately, her parents have promised her to a rich Scottish laird, Sir Colin MacPhail, and here we come to the highest comedy of the evening. Sir Colin is taciturn and shy, played by Matthew Woodyatt. He's a lumbering giant who ties himself in knots trying to proclaim his feelings, while his mother, Lady MacPhail, speaks for him, and at times for the whole of Scotland. Played by Dillie Keane, best known as part of Fascinating Aida, she's an over-the-top Scot, forever banging on about the glens and the hills of her beloved country. Attempting to matchmake is Dora, the Dowager Countess of Drumduris. She constantly appears and disappears through the two doors in classic farce fashion. Now, Sarah Crowe was indisposed when I saw the show, and while her last-minute replacement read the lines well from a script, we did lose some of the speed that I'm sure was intended by movement director Joanna Goodwin. Members of the cast play music. This device is used regularly by the Watermill Theatre and by Pride and Prejudice, sort of. It's highly effective in establishing mood and sometimes character, but it can also help keep us, the audience, at bay in a play where In Brechtian style, we are distanced from being emotionally involved with the characters. Now, I mentioned Nancy Carroll has packed her adaptation with innuendos. If you'd like an example, I'll give you one. At one musical moment, violin-playing Fanny offers to fiddle with flute-playing Sir Julian. The sets and costumes by Janet Bird are terrific. The Menier stage area is quite small, but versatile, and on this occasion the audience is on two sides, creating an intimate drawing room feel. The costumes are sumptuous, looking fin de siècle and subtly reflecting the characters. The Twombly's home is decorated minimally, but with a chintzy late Victorian style, including a chaise longue and, of course, a piano. The portrait of high society and its fragility, as well as the seriousness of debt, would have been much more recognisable to a Victorian audience. But we are still a class-ridden society, and the characters' many pretensions hit home. And without it ever needing to be stated explicitly, the references to corrupt politics and donations in exchange for influence show times haven't changed as much as we might hope. But I'm sure the rumours that Lord Ali gave Sir Keir tickets for the opening night are entirely without foundation. I give The Cabinet Minister 4 stars. I hope you found this review interesting and useful, and if you did, please like, comment and subscribe to this channel, then you'll be the first to know about my future reviews. You can also read my reviews at Theatre.Reviews, where I also round up the other critics' reviews of the latest shows. And you can follow me on social media, but not X. Thank you for watching.